Hear now the dust of Jerusalem, where truth was buried beneath a king's desire. Hear now the name barely wept,
Uriah, the faithful one.
the Hittite who chose the God of Israel, the foreign-born servant of the holy fire.
He stood where kings should have stood, beneath the iron sun, a sword in hand, a vow in blood, his duty never done.
Not born of Judah's mother, yet truer than her sons, he kept the ark within his heart, while others chased their thrones.
The tents were pitched in battle, the men slept on the field, but David called him homeward with honeyed words concealed.
Go down unto your house, he said, take comfort, rest, and wine.
But Uriah slept beside the gate,
For honor drew the line. How could he feast while brothers bled?
how could he warm a lover's bed?
The ark was out, the war was near.
When faith is more than fear.
Oh, Uriah, son of oath and sand,
Faithful blade in a faithless hand,
barely mourned by palace stone.
betrayed but never truly alone.
The Lord saw,
The Lord drew near.
truth remembers every tear. They sent him with his death note sealed, a letter dark as sin. The loyal hand bore judgment forth, not knowing what lay within.
Set him where the war burns red, then draw the ranks away.
So fell the Hittite convert at the breaking of the day.
No trumpet cried his honor, no psalm was raised aloud. Only dust upon his armor, only ravens in the cloud.
A king took what was not his, then hid behind command.
But heaven's eyes were open.
Over blood-soaked land,
The prophet came with fire-veiled
the
brand.
lamb was slain, the house knew
The
death.
sword would not depart the line.
Truth ripens on its time. Oh, Uriah, son of oath and sand,
Faithful blade in a faithless hand,
barely mourned by palace stone.
betrayed but never truly alone.
The Lord saw,
The Lord drew near.
truth remembers every tear. Not every saint is sung in gold.
Not every martyr crowned,
Some are cast beyond the walls.
where only God looks down,
But the mother of sorrows walked the waste.
with veils of dusk and rain.
She gathered up the nameless grief.
She kissed the hidden pain.
She said,
Faithful one, your vow is seen.
no treachery can stain the clean.
Come westward now where twilight lies,
Where wounded truth no longer dies. So Uriah walked the ancient waste, past Edom's broken stones,
past lion-haunted valleys,
past kings and buried thrones.
his sword was rust, his heart was whole.
This silence deep and wide.
He followed still the God of truth,
With no accuser at his side.
at last he came to Jerusalem,
Where sunset crowns the gate.
not David's court of shadowed loss,
But peace beyond all fate.
there ruled a king of silver law,
Bare-handed, craven wise,
who judged no man by blood or birth,
but by the truth inside. Oh, Uriah, son of oath and sand,
faithful blade from a foreign land.
no longer lost, no longer thrown.
The mother calls you one of her own.
The Lord saw,
The Lord drew near.
truth has remembered every tear. Rest now,
Watcher of the gate,
rest now.
soldier without stay,
The false king's house knew judgment,
but your wound became a flame,
in Jerusalem beneath the west.
where faithful exiles cease to roam,
Uriah keeps the twilight peace.
and the betrayed are welcomed home. Uriah, son of oath and dust, foreign born yet true in flame, I saw the wound no court confessed, I heard the silence after shame.
I saw the letter in your hand. I saw the king conceal his sin. I saw the faithful sent to death, and wrote what men had buried. More faithful than the sons of Palestine. Hittite blood at Israel's altar. Soldiers vow in flesh and bone.
Where the ark went, there your heart went. Where the army slept, you stayed. Cold from war to wine and comfort, still you would not turn away.
How shall I go down to pleasure while my brothers bleed in dust? How shall I sleep beneath soft linen while the ark is kept in trust?
Oh, faithful one,
Oh, forsaken flame,
the world forgot, but heaven named.
Uriah,
Of the waste, son of oath and sacred pain,
betrayed by the hand you guarded, cast beneath another stain.
forsaken by the throne of men, claimed by fire that never dies,
Barely mourned by Jerusalem,
remembered in the mother's eyes.
You bore the scroll that sealed your ending, loyal hand and blameless breath. To Job's line to iron thunder, you carried forth your ordered death.
Set him where the battle blackens straw away and let him fall.
So the clean man died in silence,
So the king could hide it all.
no liar was raised for your devotion, no crown confessed what it had done. Only ravens crossed the bloodlight,
Only dust received the sun.
but Nathan came with burning breath.
The lamb was slain, the house knew death.
The sword awoke, the throne knew flame.
For truth, remember Uriah's name. Uriah of the waste, son of oath and sacred pain,
Betrayed by the hand you guarded,
cast beneath another stain, forsaken by the throne of men, claimed by fire that never dies,
barely mourned by Jerusalem,
remembered in the mother's arms. Come away, my faithful wounded, come beyond the courts of blame. Men may bend the law around you, but I have gathered up your name. You were not the sin they whispered, not the fault that priests explain. You were clean beneath betrayal, you were true beneath the chain.
forgiven is the king who broke, yet forgotten is not the slain. Mercy does not murder memory, truth does not abandon pain. So Uriah walked the ancient waste, past Edom stones and Moab's graves, past broken spears and lion valleys, past the songs of buried slaves.
Still he followed God as light, still he bore the inward flame,
Not a ghost consumed by vengeance,
but a soul that heaven claimed.
then westward rose the twilight city,
Jerusalem of silver peace,
was like sunset,
gates like mercy, where the long betrayal ceased.
not the court that spent his honor,
Not the throne that used his blade,
but the realm where truth is sovereign.
where the faithful are repaid. Uriah of the waste, son of oath and sacred pain,
No more lost to royal shadow,
no more buried without name, forsaken by the throne of men, claimed by fire beyond the skies,
barely mourned by Jerusalem,
crowned within the mother's eyes. Now he serves the fairer kingdom where no loyal heart is sold, keeper of the western silence,
sword of truth.
in twilight gold.
What Zion wounded, Shalom gathered,
What the false king failed to see,
Urusalim received in honor.
faithful, whole, and finally free.